Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. CT5 once again. Um, I did a video not too long ago about feelings in music. I did a sequel to that. I'm curious as to what particular artists have inspired you concerning disabilities themselves, have inspired you to keep going, have inspired you to change perspective. One of mine in particular, Sister Hazel. They formed in '94. They've been a band ever since then. There are many songs of theirs that are spiritual in nature, but you can, if you really dig deep into the lyric, I found that they're very, very inspiring. I've gotten to know these gentlemen as musical acquaintances when I was much younger. When I was 18, I saw them first on August 3rd, 2000. The last time I saw them was about 13 years ago at the Wild Horse Saloon. And I haven't seen them since then because, let's be realistic, concert ticket prices are through the roof. But even when I just listen to the music, he's reading the lyrics themselves. These gentlemen are masters of free verse. And what I mean by that is just poetry that doesn't really have any sort of rhyme scheme. And it's a really interesting thing when you tend to analyze lyrics. As a poet and songwriter myself, I tend to do that quite a bit. And so, what particular songs or artists have you been influenced by in a real positive light? And particularly, why has this what uh, had gotten you into this artist? What particular song or album had done that? And if you're still a particular fan of this artist, if they're still around, so I'd grown up with music of the '60s, and some of these artists are still alive, some not so much. But Sister Hazel from 1994, and I don't know, as they progressed in their albums, they had progressed within the positive messages that they have delivered, I guess you could say, because the term very loosely. But I've met these gentlemen 5 times backstage out of 10, and they're very wonderful people, very spiritual, and just very, very, down to earth, I guess. Because they're not, you know, I've found that, and I've met a lot of famous musicians in my time, and you can define famous in whatever way you want to. But I found that if you treat them as people, Sister Hazel, they're just 5 guys doing what they love for a living. And when you have an opportunity to interact with one of your most influential bands, you kind of, in your head, you're thinking, oh my God, is this real? But on the outside, you kind of have to tone down a little bit. I've asked them about their music, and with Mr. Ken Block, the lead singer and acoustic guitarist, I've asked him several times about some of the songs that they've written, and Ken, just an incredible human being. He kind of kidded around with me saying, well, I'll let you figure that one out. I'm like, oh, crap. And, there's one in particular that I asked him about called Walls and Cannonballs. That's off of the released album in 2009. And that was his response. One of the lyrics is, walls and cannonballs make unlikely friends. Now, the way I interpreted that, what I'm thinking is that this particular song is about a relationship, perhaps. It could be an analogy for something other than that. And also, I'm curious as to what lyric or lyrics you questions and the interpretation of those lyrics that you've come across from oldies, and I say oldies from the 50s and 60s to 2026. And so, you know, what do you think? What songs have helped you relate to your disability? How have they helped you relate to it? And, if you're a musician yourself, what songs do you think should be written about disabilities and how do you think they should be written? Majors, minors, diminished, and so on. And I think, to me, songs like that should be written in a major key. And majors usually, as mentioned previously, they kind of have a positive feeling to them. Minors kind of have sort of sad feeling. It depends on how you combine them. But once again, I greatly appreciate it. If you would hit that like and subscribe button, also, that would grow the channel. And as always, I'm more than welcome to talk to you guys on any video platform available. So, Cripple Tales 5, until next time, see ya.